The following video was an extremely unsettling one, and for different reasons than usual. Typically on this channel, the reactions to spirits that we watch are full of fear and fright, but the one that I am about to show to you, much different. It took place in a dude's kitchen, and he was simply recording a video for an Instagram story when one of the most unexpected things happened, which made it go viral.
So I know at this point this goes without saying, but I should not drink anymore. I went a whole fucking while without drinking. Without drinking alcohol, and like I was like, hey, let me relax, drink some fucking White Claws, get white girl wasted and all that other shit. And it started happening again. And this isn't like, I mean, it's not news or anything. I figured it's because I drink.
Mid-speech, his protein powder fell to the shelf below its resting spot, which was very odd. What made this clip ever more disturbing, though, was the fact that the boy behind the camera only gave it a pause for a reaction and didn't do anything else. Quite a unique reaction to a unique experience, I must say. Mario was a third-generation Latin American whose grandparents had migrated from Mexico in search of greener pastures back in the 1950s, a few years after the war. He had heard that his abuela tell crazy stories of El Cucuy, La Llorona, and numerous others like that. For some reason, he wasn't scared like his other siblings were. Instead, he was much more interested in the weird and strange things his abuela did at the back of the house on cold summer nights when no one was watching. One day, he confronted her about this, and she opened up about her old life as a voodoo priestess and how she had learned to connect with the supernatural. Mario loved the idea of this and learned all he could from his abuela. They were extremely close to each other until the day she died. Mario's involvement with his grandma made him so hungry for the supernatural that he started going around town looking for haunted houses and places where he could see ghosts. It was in one of his outings that this unreal video was taken.
Tengo mucho miedo. Me quedé solo en la casa. Me han pasado cosas desde que vi ese maldito video. Escucho cosas. No hay luz. No sé qué hacer. Escucho muchas cosas. Ay, Dios, tengo miedo. ¿Qué pedo? ¿Quién está ahí? ¿Qué pedo? ¿Qué es eso? No mames.
He literally saw the chair move by itself, but he didn't even move a muscle because of how used to it he was. It was something he had seen over and over again. Mara had decided to do some antique shopping to decorate her brand new home, but she didn't expect to exactly see much. She just wanted to get some new kitchenware and any cute items that she might find. When she got to the shop, the old lady there was somewhat grumpy and didn't give Mara much attention. She just ignored her though and decided to look around for the stuff she came for. Fortunately, Maria came across a leather purse from the 1950s, some washed-up Levi's jeans, and a new china set, just as she had hoped. After finding these amazing items and being on the verge of checking out, something cutesy caught her eye, and she could not resist it. A locally made doll, dressed in traditional Indian attire. Immediately after seeing it, she couldn't take her eyes off it. Curiously, Mara inspected the doll and realized that the price tag was missing, which was odd to say the least, and went to inquire to the woman on the till. The woman looked at her strangely and slowly replied, "This one is free." Mara was surprised that such an intricately made doll had no price and snatched at the offer, oblivious as to what it was about to do to her life. It was after a few weeks of having the doll around that she started to realize why it came for nothing. After starting to feel weird about the doll, she decided it was best to set up a camera near it and find out what the problem was. Surprisingly, the camera actually caught some movement, and the doll made the tiniest of moves before the camera malfunctioned. Coincidence? I think not. Jeremy had always been an observant person. He was also very big on the small details, so when things started changing positions in his home, he easily noticed. Jeremy had a roommate called Ed who spent his time at the hospital being a nurse. This meant that there was no chance Ed was behind these movements. Due to this conclusion, Jeremy suspected some supernatural activity, so he bought a few crucifixes, asked a priest to bless them, and hung them at different places in the house. It was then that he truly experienced more paranormal events, and it got so bad that Jeremy had to whip out his camera to record this.
Okay, I've been hearing banging for a good little while now. It comes from the bathroom door over there and then from the front. Do you hear it? Did you hear that? I'm just literally about to pick something to watch and I can hear banging on the... Can you hear it? It's this door. I don't know what is going on in here today. I'm completely on my own in here as well. There's no room in here either. What a crazy encounter. Now, I'll give you a bit of backstory. So, folks, I've been waiting to show you that video for months now. I caught it at the end of the summer, around August time, when paranormal activity was quite rife in my house, which I believe to be connected to a few of the haunted objects I've collected over time. Now, since this, nothing's happened in the house, apart from very recently when we were on holiday. My mum and sister were minding the house for us and heard someone again knocking on that door, the front door, opened it straight away and there was nobody there. And that's the first thing that's happened in a little while. So I just wanted to share it with you. It's absolutely genuine what I caught one day a couple of months ago, but I wanted to save it for the Halloween season with it being so incredibly good, if you will call it that. Let me know what you thought.
This was a full series of paranormal events captured in broad daylight, and Jeremy did not hesitate to contact his roommate about the possibility of living somewhere else. Fortunately, Ed agreed, and they would go on to leave just 1 week later, making Jeremy recover from this spooky day. Juego was a single dad who had a full-time job as a doctor and also took care of his twin daughters. They were 8-year-olds at the time and asked a lot of questions about the silliest of topics. Every time Juego had to come up with something that would somehow satisfy their young and playful minds. However, there was one night when this was not possible. The duo came to Juego with their barrage of questions when they were supposed to be in bed. But this time, one of their questions was quite unusual. They asked about a woman in their wardrobe who always came to kiss them goodnight. He was rather surprised by the question, but ended up telling them it was their guardian angel, and they believed the story, running back upstairs happy as ever. Fuego, on the other hand, was not so pleased. After a few weeks, the girls mentioned that their guardian angel wasn't coming around as often as she used to, so Fuego told them that she was perhaps a bit tired. This is when he started to treat this as a paranormal case and set out to find proof. One day, he dropped the girls off at their grandma's and decided to spend the night alone. His plan was to stay awake through the night and make sure nothing out of the ordinary was happening. However, when he heard a noise from the girls' room, his instincts kicked in. He picked up his phone and hit record on the camera.
¿Qué pasa, Sansa? De acá viene el ruido. Ey, 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 ey. Qué mierda, ey, ey. Vete de mi casa. Ey, ey, ey. ¿Qué fue eso? Ey, andate de mi casa, no quiero que estés acá, andate, andate. ¿Qué es eso? Escucha, escucha, escucha. No puede ser, no puede ser. Concha de la lora. Ey, 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 andate de mi casa. La puta madre, lo único que me falta ahora.
We know how protective fathers can be of their girls, and this time, it most definitely paid off. Fuego actually had to call an exorcist after this event, even though it seemed like the benevolent spirit of his wife who had passed away a few years prior. He did not want to banish someone that close to him, but risks must have been made in case it was a demon. It was something from the horror books. A father sharing a wholesome moment with his daughters, but the ending is extremely terrifying to watch. Take a look.
Oh, shit. Fuck you. Fuck, man. Nothing here. Nothing here. Oh my god, I'm so... Oh my god, look, legit goosebumps. Oh my god. What the f*** is that?
The look of fear in the man's eyes, and how foreboding the ghost in the background was. Not something you'd want your kids to see. Living in a suburban home means you have a semi-quiet and peaceful place to stay in. But what happens when you realize your home is haunted by a spirit that goes around trashing things and making your life difficult? That's exactly what happened to Donna, a middle-aged woman living in the middle of Louisville, a popular suburban place in Kentucky. Donna lived a happy life, residing in her comfortable apartment all by herself and working from home. Her two-room apartment was her haven, but after just 6 months of living there, she started to notice some really strange stuff. First, things seemed to be missing around the house a lot, including her car keys, her shampoo, and she constantly found that her favorite bottle of Lynx body spray was somehow always falling off the table where she kept it. At first, she thought it was just rolling off, but over time she realized it had to be something else. One night, she decided to put her bottle of Lynx under surveillance and watched some television nearby. What she discovered shocked everyone. Here, take a look.
Anyone see that? Just a normal can. Normal can. Did you see it again? Just a can. Keeps happening. I'm here, by the way. I'm stood here at the side. I was watching TV. Was. I'm just going to show you this. You don't believe a word I'm saying, guys, do you? Well, there's a bit more for you. This is what I'm getting every single night. This is why I'm up all night. Need help.
Right before our very eyes, the bottle of Lynx was thrown to the floor by an unseen force over and over again. This put Donna into an unexplainable state of fear that she had never felt before, and she was forced to stop recording. Andrew was on vacation in Canada, alone after he's just finished a master's program in Christian spirituality at Sarum College. Andrew had one primary goal. He wanted to explore all the possible Christian history in the Alberta area, all the old churches, monuments, and whatnot. He was extremely excited when he found out that there was an Airbnb he could stay in that used to be the parsonage of an old church. It was exactly what he wanted. However, what he didn't know was that the church was abandoned because of the horrific things that had taken place there during the Second World War. He expected to see some of the Gothic architecture and maybe tour around the old church, but this was not what he got. He walked around the building and even took some pictures. However, his woes started when he arrived home later that night after having dinner.
Okay, that's kind of weird. This thing is moving. There's no fan on or anything. This thing's moving. Holy f***. Holy f***. This is like an old church. It's pretty crazy. Oh shit. That's up. Something going on in here. Okay.
The chandelier started swinging and the curtains even shut all by themselves, while Andrew just stood there in horror as he watched the next few moments of his life unfold before him. After these events, he decided to show the video to his grandma, who was his closest relative, and she advised him to do more background checks on the places he visits. Good advice. The following experiment was conducted on September 16th of 2018 and had a lot of meaning to the man doing it. His name was Carl Williams, and he had spent the past 3 months constantly being haunted no matter where he decided to visit, from his home to the park, all the way to his workplace. Paranormal activity seemed to follow him wherever he went, but he never actually decided to get some evidence. Carl believed that filming the ghost would give it too much attention and cause it to mess with him even more. But on September 16th, he knew he had nothing to lose. The test was pretty simple. Carl would place a variety of different objects on the floor and ask the ghost to move them on camera for proof of its existence, and the results were extremely shocking.
Because of the success of yesterday's little object test, I decided I'm going to give this object placement thing another try. I have tried a few items already, before I got the camera out. I was just having a little play. I got a few twitches out of a candle, this one here, This moved around a little bit. Nothing as dramatic as the ball or anything like that. The remote, I'm unsure about. I thought I saw it move, but I wasn't recording or anything, so I can't really verify it. So I'm going to try them both again and just see what we capture. Really, same situation as before. I'm on my own, and I'll try to stay in camera so you know it's not me. Right, we'll start with the candle first, and basically just pop this down here. Okay, if there is anything here, can you please move the candle for me? Anything at all, could you please move the candle? No, that's strange. I thought that one would work.
Despite the experiment sounding promising in Carl's head, nothing happened, and he was left stunned sitting on the floor. However, as I explained earlier, he had a variety of items to test out, and it would be the second one where he got his evidence delivered.
Not to worry. Okay. Wasn't sure about this one, but I'll give it a go. If there's anything in this... No. See that? There's no strings attached. That one was different. The things it's shifted it before, but it's never just thrown it like that. Yeah, it's weird.
Without even asking the spirit to move the remote, it understood the assignment and launched it. This startled Carl because he claimed that it didn't usually move things in that kind of manner and was ordinarily chill and slid things. Maybe he was right all along. Perhaps filming the ghost did fuel it to new heights. Let me know what you think in the comments. In the upcoming video, YouTube channel Ghostek Paranormal Investigations were making one of their videos, and based on their name, you should be able to guess what this video was. The crew were investigating yet another haunted location. The place in this video was an old location called the Viaduct Tavern and was known for having some of the most poltergeist activity in England. It was a still occupied pub that the YouTube channel paid to have access to for the day, and after they left, they had so much spiritual evidence that the owner was forced to sell the place. Here I'm going to show you one of the unexplainable events that happened on that day, and if you don't believe in ghosts now, you most definitely will afterwards.
Did you hear that? It was like a door moved. Hello? The sound of a door moves from somewhere nearby. Here is the enhanced audio taken from Static Cam 3 covering the hallway. Did you hear that?
Strangely, the group heard the noise of a door opening upstairs, followed by some heavy footsteps. The weird thing was that they were the only people in the building and they had cameras set up to prove that no one was in the corridor where this happened. Do you buy that this capture was real? I most certainly do, but I'm willing to be turned away from my beliefs in the comments. On March 5th, during an unknown year, a family of 4 were fast asleep at night when they were disturbed by the youngest member screaming. She was called Layla and struggled to fall asleep, so decided to have one last play with her dolls before rolling into a slumber. However, something under her bed had a much more different idea to get her tired. You know the saying of monsters being under the bed. Well, this clip perfectly resembles that saying, and next time you hear someone say they have them, you'll have to think twice before calling them out for being crazy.
Hey, can you play with me? Sure, I'll play with you. Gonna let you play, yeah. Bling, 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 yum, doo, doo.
Almost like a lure, the girl's singing doll started playing music, and Layla got scared that it would wake her parents up too early. She sneakily climbed out of her bed and tiptoed under her bed, but when she went in head first, something grabbed her. Fortunately, her mother came to save the day. Like any normal and functioning human being, she brought the daughter out and locked the room closed for 2 whole days. However, after a bit of peer pressure, she decided to take her first look under the bed and regretted it dearly.
So I've been getting a lot of questions. People have been asking me, have you been in the room? Have you guys looked under the bed? No, we haven't. We haven't been in the room in the last 2 days. We've been a little scared. Be this scared right now.
As weird as this may have been, the doll moved by its own accord when she looked under the bed, and understandably, the mother dashed back outside and locked the door. Since then, the door has stayed locked, and the family are always in fear that it could escape one day. They are constantly thinking of how to trash it, whilst making sure it doesn't find its way back. Babies are the most innocent people on the planet, and it always hurts to see them being involved in these paranormal videos. They don't deserve it and are too young to understand what is actually going on, which isn't acceptable in the slightest. The video you are about to witness is one where a poltergeist messes with a baby, and it is really upsetting, so beware. Out of nowhere, the sound of blowing could be heard, and the baby's hair moved. What happened here is definitely up for speculation, but I'm certain it was the act of a ghost. In the following video, a young woman called Leona was cleaning her daughter's bedroom when something unexplainable happened out of nowhere. She was really angry at her daughter for not cleaning the room, but decided to give some leniency and do it for her. I bet she was very happy that she chose this decision because she had one of the most positive ghost experiences documented on this channel. Take a look.
Got you all in a tizzy? What happened, sir? Can you do it again? Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, we're reversing too. Wow. You made sure to go past the cat in reverse. Dang. Hey. Oh, we're still going? Man. If I put it there. You don't like that, huh? Because the cat's in your way? Uh-huh. Oh, you go push it out of the way? Are you gonna push it out of the way? Go ahead. Go ahead, push it. You push it out of the way? Oh my God! You freaking did that shit! Oh my God! That was crazy, bro! Oh my God! Again? Are you gonna push the kitty cat out of the way? Are you gonna push it out of the way again? Oh, you're moving the cat out of the way by moving the cat? Oh my God, you're so smart. Which one are you gonna move? Are you gonna push it out of the way again with the car? Or are you gonna move the cat? Oh my God, look at you. You moved it back. Oh my God. You're so smart. Are you gonna move it? Are you gonna push it out of the way? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna move the cat out of the way by moving the whole cat, or are you gonna push it out of the way? You might have to... Oh my God, you smart person, you.
Strangely, both of the objects started moving by themselves, and none of them are battery-powered in any way. The sole purpose of the Hello Kitty object was to decorate, and the skateboard one was to play, so it made no sense as to why they had a life of their own. Regardless, Leona rather enjoyed the experience, and wasn't fazed in the slightest. A middle-aged man was getting creeped out from the room he was in when moments later something terrifying happened as a climax to this fear. It was 4 a.m. on a Tuesday night in Minneapolis, and the room he was staying in was the last place you'd expect something paranormal to occur in. Despite having the structure of the back rooms, nothing had ever been reported there, and Josiah was hoping that the same would be reality for him. He was wrong.
I'm about to go lay back down, and I'm gonna hope to God that nothing fucking does any weird shit, because I feel like there's weird shit right there. But at the same time, it could be friendly. Oh God, now look at me, I'm starting to sound like a fucking weirdo. Okay. Do you see that? What?
A weird object flew off the door, and Josiah was left startled by this unexpected event. It flew so quickly out of nowhere and acted as a climax to the night of spine tingling he had already been feeling. He always knew there was something wrong with the place, and now he had enough evidence to leave with a refund. On July 7th of 2023, Mia was trying to get some rest after a long day of work. She had struggled all day with an overly demanding schedule and a boss who wouldn't cut her any slack if she made mistakes. She was in the process of leaving the job, but that turned out to take longer than expected. As if all of that wasn't enough, she gave birth to a son of whom she loved to infinity and beyond. She had him for 7 months and was so excited to see him grow up. However, due to private circumstances, he passed away. Could the upcoming clip be a knock-on effect of this? Let me know in the comments.
Watch the movie in here. And yes, my fan is on. That's why you see it blowing. But what the hell is that? Why is it wrinkling like that? Like somebody's pushing it. And that looked like a face.
Hey, tomorrow we need to...
Now, the fact that the curtain was moving was extremely normal, considering the fan was aiming right at it. However, the pushing against it from the other side was not something you'd expect to see, and fortunately, Mia picked up on it. She got up and approached the curtain, attempting to reveal who was behind it. To her dismay, she found no one. Restaurants are places that you'd expect to see bustling with life, from the stressed-out staff to the romantic dates, all the way to a family creating all the noise. These places are usually full of people. However, when it gets late at night and way past dinner time, the restaurants stop getting customers and typically shut down for the night. Someone is always selected to close the restaurant, and this is a pretty standard job. Lock a few doors, flick some switches, and call it a night. The man who was assigned the role in this video definitely wished that this was the case for him. For some peculiar reason, once the man set up the mandatory camera and left the room, the chairs started to move on their own accord. This was very creepy for him, considering he was the only person in the building, but he was brave and went back to fix the positioning of the chairs. Once he finished that, he left the room again, hoping that whatever happened wouldn't repeat. Perhaps he hoped for more than he could get. Just like the last segment, the chairs magically moved themselves due to poltergeist activity and left the innocent employee terrified. This clip was the only aspect we saw, so no more information can be given. Scuba diving is a worldwide activity feared by most and enjoyed by the minority. It involves going into the sea with safety equipment and looking at the beautiful things that it has to offer, alongside the predators that roam there. And if a human got into a fight with one of them, it is safe to say that the creature would have a competitive advantage. In the video you're about to see, a young woman was ticking off her bucket list by diving in a shallow part of the sea. She was quite terrified of the potential threats down there, including sharks and jellyfish, but little did she know that they would be the utmost least of her concerns. Weirdly, the sound of a human screaming could be heard whilst she was in a cave, and this was completely unexplainable by logic. Since humans can't breathe underwater, it made no sense that one could open their mouth and scream. As well as this, since water is so dense, it definitely wouldn't have been that loud, leaving this scenario very open for interpretation in the comment section. After coming back to the surface, the lady asked her mother if she had heard the screams, and she replied, no, meaning that whatever it was must have been making the noise underwater. Fortunately, the woman was brave and decided to take a second dive, with much less promising results. This time, not a single sound could be heard barring the noises of distant wails, etc. No one can give a definite answer for this clip to this day. The following piece of footage was captured in an unshared location and is one of the eeriest videos documented on this channel. Watching it for the first time gave me goosebumps, and I'm sure it will do the same to you. It was filmed as part of a haunted exploration video for a channel on YouTube, and the clip I'm going to show you now was the most disturbing thing that they captured on their adventure into the unknown. Have a look.
What the was that? Wait, check what that is, there's something out there. What was that? Hello? Guys, this place is weird, man. It's a really loud noise, but... That's creepy, mate, like that. Guys.
At first glance, it was actually quite difficult to decipher what happened here, but after scanning the comments, I noticed something very off. At the timestamp of 23 minutes and 15 seconds, a dark shadow figure could be seen in the doorway, and somehow the YouTuber didn't notice it was there until editing everything together. I guess you could say he was lucky, because if he did see it, you'd bet he would have turned around and ran away. The voice of someone's loved one is supposed to bring comfort and warmth to them. This is why people find love in the first place. In certain scenarios, though, the last thing you want to hear is your boyfriend/girlfriend, though, and the video that is next up portrays this weird feeling. It was recorded when the time was approaching the evening and Michaela was preparing dinner for her boyfriend's arrival. Unfortunately, he arrived home way before schedule, and she thought he would have to wait. At least she thought he arrived.
Making some chorizo for the hubby. Gotta make some extra this morning. Said he's gonna bring over his friend. Babe, are you home? What the heck? The door's still locked. The door's not even open. Okay, anyways, I don't know what that was. I'm hearing things going crazy. Almost done chopping up these potatoes. Somebody playing a prank on me? Did you hear that? Babe, are you home?
Michaela could hear the voice of her boyfriend and a series of footsteps, which was weird, considering the doors were still locked. As well as this, she decided to call his cell phone to see if that resulted in a response, and it did, but not the ideal one. He told her he was still at work and would be setting off back home in 20 minutes. It wasn't him in the house. The next day, Michaela decided to try and put the event behind her and act like nothing happened. She thought that surely it was a one-time thing and nothing like this would slap her again. She was wrong. At the same time as the day prior, she was making dinner again when the spirit made a second appearance in the house.
I always have mashed potatoes for days. I always make way too many. As I'm saying that, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't make as many.
Somehow, the cabinet door launched open without anyone else in there, confirming the presence of a paranormal entity. Was this Michaela going crazy, or was she genuinely suffering a haunting? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Security cameras are useful for various different reasons, and in the following video, the woman involved must have been very pleased that she decided to install them. It was a normal Sunday morning, and she was pouring out some Cheerios like she did every day of the week when this habit was interrupted by the voice of a supposed loved one.
Jackie? Hi. Okay, I'm gonna go back to bed.
As you could clearly hear, once the woman stood up to face the direction of the noise, she addressed it as Jackie, showing that she thought the voice was of someone she knew. If this was the case, then the encounter must have been with a mimic, which can be very dangerous in their own right. The following video was captured using the CCTV at a daycare and caught a very strange event unfolding. Usually when ghosts decide to haunt someone, they will move things and make noises to torment their victims. But they never become physical or break anything of value, at least not for most people. In the spine-tingling content you're about to see, a group of children were in the playroom being monitored by the security guard when they zoomed into something surprisingly weird. Take a look.
John, how is it doing that? John, how is it doing that? But wait, John, it's about to break on its own. It's gonna break on its own.
You have to watch it until it breaks. That's when I start crying.
Watch, John. Are you watching this thing? Yeah. It's not moving. No way. Oh, in there. No, watch. Watch, John. Watch.
Man, it hurts so bad.
Nobody listens to me. There's ghosts in here. Nobody listens to me.
Watch it.
It's about to go crazy and break.
Oh.
It's still moving, y'all. It's still moving.
If it floats in the air,
Very good for the child and a freak out.
And then it just moves. It's so good. It just came out.
My hand's shaking. I can't.
How's this funny? It's not like this or like this. It's not like
Poor Brooke, get in the path of the demon.
She's like, maybe I should put my feet on the table.
I feel like I need to go away from this screen.
Oh my gosh.
What in the world?
We need to record this stuff out loud. We need to make it to where we get a bit. We should just send to the scary 100 people.
Nobody listens to me. There's ghosts in this building, and nobody listens to me. I don't know if it's demons. I don't know if it's ghosts, but there's something in this building.
Because I'm telling you, like we've seen, 8 years, stuff had just disappeared.
Somehow, the queue started moving by itself and eventually smacked the table, which broke it into 2 pieces. For some reason, the children were not fazed by this, but the adults most definitely were. If you can come up with any logical reason for this happening, then let me know in the comments, but I'm certain it was the act of a spirit. Hamza was a young freelancer who was paid to go on ghost hunting missions, specifically ones who wanted them erased rather than detected. He had spent 13 years researching spirits and was a strong believer that he knew how to deal with them effectively. This is why so many people chose to pay him to do so. However, some spirits are much different than others, and perhaps Hamza had no experience with the type he was about to encounter because he handled it very poorly.
Uy, no mames, ¿qué fue eso? ¿Hay alguien? ¿Qué fue eso, amigos? ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué fue eso? Oye, alguien corre, alguien corre, alguien corre. Alguien está corriendo. ¿Hay alguien aquí? Miren, aquí hay puertas, como que alguien quitó la puerta. ¿Hay alguien aquí? Uy, 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 se acaba de mover esto, amigos.
In case you didn't know, one of the worst ways a human can react to a ghost moving something is with fear, because all that does is empower the creature even more. Spirits, especially demons, feed off the fear of their victims, and Hamza fed it exactly what it wanted, hence why the next event happened.
Amigos, se acaba de mover esto. Y esto se movió. ¿En dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Queremos verte. Se acaba de mover esto. Uy, 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 uy. Uy, uy, uy. Uy, uy. Ahí está caminando, amigos. Ahí está caminando, ahí está caminando. Ahí está caminando. ¿Hay alguien? Uy, me caigo. ¿Hay alguien aquí? Si estás aquí, quiero que te manifiestes. Uy, ¿qué fue eso? ¿Qué es eso?
Again, he made his inner fear very apparent here, and no wonder the mission came out as a failure, and he didn't make any money from it. It was a very odd experience for Hamza, because he never got afraid of paranormal activity, but he kept reminding himself that maybe this creature was demonic, and that was a step too far. Some of the videos that you see on this channel can come off as so unbelievable that even I can't convince you otherwise. In the next clip, this may be the case at the start, but one segment changes everything. It was filmed on January 12th of 2017 and featured a bouncy ball in the decoration of a basketball. It's safe to say that something was wrong with it, and you are about to find out what.
Ahora también se hizo basquetbolista, ¿viste? Ahora también se hizo basquetbolista. Creo que biencito se ve. Andás aquí que está moviendo. Ya sé que está moviendo, te digo. No se sabe quién es uno. Mira, mira. Qué lo parió, ¿eh?
At first, the video seemed like a normal one. Balls are spherical, so of course they were going to roll around if placed onto a black tabletop. However, the way in which they did so was very unnatural. First of all, it constantly stopped and restarted, which shouldn't be possible. When the ball came to a complete standstill, a force must have been applied to make it move in a given direction again. On top of this, it started spinning in circles, which again shouldn't have been possible without the interference of another force. Was that force a spirit? Most definitely yes. This doctor had just finished prescribing one of his patients when he managed to secure an extra 30-minute break for being way ahead of schedule. He decided that instead of utilizing his break to the maximum though, he would use it to help some of the other doctors around the clinic by taking items to them and general help along those lines. No wonder he was awarded Employee of the Month so frequently. On this specific day though, I bet he regretted his kind actions because despite being a star for his peers, he put himself at the risk of a paranormal attack.
No veo nada. Miren. Miren. ¿Cómo ver eso? Se acaba de caer un roco. Se está moviendo este.
Weirdly, a ton of items started collapsing around him, and his transportation tray moved by its own accord. This freaked the poor doctor out, and he quickly went to report the situation to the office, who reassured him they would look into it as he was such a valuable member of staff. We got no extra updates after this point. The Paranormal Team is a global group who investigate paranormal activity around the world. The group you're about to spectate on their journey was located in the United Kingdom and were posting content different from usual. The typical post on their YouTube channel would be the exploration of a famous haunted place, such as abandoned buildings and hospitals. However, in the one you are about to see, it was filmed in one of their friends' homes. Dave and Jen were a couple who were convinced that they had been experiencing paranormal activity over the past few months, and they were fortunate to have been friends with the Northern Paranormal Team of the UK. On the other hand though, they were unfortunate with what the team discovered.
Hi gang, we're at Jed and Dave's house doing another investigation because things have been seen here last year when we was up here. It was quite creepy, so we're just going to do another investigation now, a little one. See what we can find.
We're using the night vision camera on the SLS, so that's why they're still behind me, because we don't want to keep mapping them.
Exactly.
We want to see what we can map ourselves.
Just have a look around the room, Dave, you never know. We caught some orbs in here last time we was up here.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see some orbs now.
Yeah. You never know.
We're back.
It's stuck on 2 of the K2 meter.
K2, what was
Yeah,
that?
we've got Jed behind us doing the K2 and he's got a couple of lights on it, you know, so we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, all we can do is just keep going
so
past and see. Whoa!
What the hell? Did I just see something or am I imagining that?
I don't know, let's go.
What the hell? I don't know. To me it looked like a face. Dave?
I thought I saw something.
That was really quick,
That was
really
really-
spooky.
That was.
I don't know, it seemed like a face, but I could be wrong, I won't say for definite.
What a face?
Yeah.
Seemed like one, yeah.
I don't talk bollocks. See the face?
I don't know, we'll have to look back on the video.
We'll have to review it, but that was really weird.
I thought I saw something.
Peer around the door.
Peering, yeah, peering on the door.
Well, this is stuck on 2.
I know we've got a towel here,
Yeah, this is stuck on 2. The door.
but we've got a towel. Could it be that?
Well, no, because it never moved. It come out from the like a peekaboo and then went. That's insane.
I wasn't looking. I just saw it at the corner of my eye. And I went back and I didn't see anything.
You're scared because something scared you because you look back. You thought you'd seen something.
Let's go check the kitchen.
Oh my God, what a house. Anyway,
To the kitchen. Yeah, house. I've got to fucking sleep here tonight, mate.
Wow. God bless you.
Well, the good thing is he's not picking up any like stick thingies, so we can use the actual, night vision. That's weird. We're gonna have to look back on that. I'm gonna have to look back on that.
Definitely have to review that footage. That was insane.
Quick check. Yeah, we know it's a towel.
Towel can't move.
Yeah, we were in here. We were doing a quick zoom around. Check. Yeah, it's when I went past the door there. I know you. But yeah, I'm out.
This is stuck on 2, this. It's glitching to 3 now.
I'm wondering if it's a towel. It has to be the towel.
The towel can't move when it's on unless
We're going to have to look back. We're going to have to look back, guys.
Right, well,
we're going to have to look back.
Come back later.
Right, so we'll come back later. I'll go back on the footage now. So I'm going to end the recording now. All right. Cheers.
If you look closely at the timestamp of 51 seconds, the face of a ghost could be seen peeking round the door, and this was solid evidence that the house was haunted. At first, the group weren't certain that this was the case, and blamed all sorts of factors, including the carpet. Regardless, once they reviewed the footage, they knew exactly what the deal was. Jen and Dave were far from safe. They moved out of their house the next month. In the following video, the man on the bottom is doing some simple Omegle trolling, like all people on the platform do. He got paired with 2 men from the same country as him, which was a relief due to how many English speakers used the platform. Little did they know that this pairing would document one of the weirdest captures ever on the website. In the beginning, the man at the bottom was telling the duo their names and address, and he somehow got both the answers right, which surprised the duo. It was what that happened moments later in the video that terrified everyone present in that Omegle call.
Hola. Hola.
Hola muchachos, ¿cómo andan? Para, yo a ustedes los conozco.
Pues a Argentina no hemos ido, ¿eh? Así que no...
Sí, yo los conozco. ¿Vos no te llamas Javi? ¿Y vos sos Juan o no? ¿Son de España o no?
Mi nombre lo pone ahí, que es mi cuarto, pero...
¿Son de España o no? ¿De Madrid?
Sí. Sí.
Sí, yo que ustedes no lo
Pero podrás estar la IP.
crean.
¿Tienes nuestra IP? ¿Eres de esos que buscan la IP y esas cosas? ¿Qué hace? Por este pago, bro.
Chicos, ¿les puedo hacer una consulta? ¿Ustedes qué estaban haciendo en su casa?
Pues nada. Esperar, que ahora vamos a salir de fiesta. Estoy solo en casa y le he invitado.
¿Solo?
Sí, solo. ¿El gato? Bueno, con él. ¿El gato que está abajo?
No puede ser, chicos. Yo vi que esa puerta que está enfrente se movió.
¿Cuál esta? ¿La de Javi?
Sí. Yo vi... No. Yo vi que la puerta que está enfrente suyo se movió.
Esa de ahí, nada.
Les juro que vi que esa puerta se movió.
No, mira. Nos está vacilando, o sea.
No, chicos, no. Yo lo vi con mis propios ojos. Yo vi que esa puerta de manera lenta se abrió y luego se cerró bruscamente, chicos.
Nos intenta meter miedo, ¿eh?
No les estoy mintiendo ni por mucho menos, por favor. Yo les juro que por mis ojos y por lo que más tengo en mi vida que esa puerta se movió.
Imposible, no hay nada. Así que, y mi gato está abajo. Es imposible que se muevan ahora. Nos está vacilando. Literalmente es el típico... Se ha quedado pillado. ¿Qué le pasa?
Atrás suyo hay alguien.
¿Cómo que atrás? ¡Me cago en la puta!
The strangest part of this entire sequence was that despite being stared at by the men, the spirit still stood there strongly, leading me to believe it was on the demonic side of ghosts. Looking the ghost face to face in the eyes sparked so much fear into the duo that they immediately skipped, hoping that the entire thing was some crazy plot from the dude in the headphones. It wasn't. Due to no updates or no information on them, we have no idea what happened in the next chapter of this story. Spirits are known for their unique abilities to go undetected in homes, and the one you're about to see almost mastered that ability. It invaded the home of university student James's aunt, who fortunately had a nanny cam set up in her bedroom. She did this as she was getting fairly old and wanted a way for people to check up on her, but it wouldn't be her that the family ended up concerned about. On a random Tuesday, James decided to check the camera to see how she was doing, but was greeted with a much less familiar face. Take a look.
I don't know if I'm seeing shit or tripping, but check this out. So this is my aunt's son's room, right? There's no one in here. Right? Nothing. Closet. Nothing. Got a nanny camera in here. Alright, now tell me, right on the monitor here, tell me that doesn't look like someone standing in the room. Like I've checked, like went back and forth 3 times, and So, okay. Nothing, right? Like, what the fuck? I do not want to go back in there. I have an idea. Put this, like, right here. And put this right here. Alright. Okay, I saw a ball in the other room. I'm gonna go grab it. Okay. Make sure it's clear. Alright, let's see how this goes. Okay, alright. Fuck, there is definitely something in there. What the fuck?
If that whole story wasn't enough to freak you out, I have no idea what would do the trick. The fact that even while standing in the doorway he couldn't see the ghost, but the camera still detected it at the exact same time must have been a very spooky situation to be in, and he advised that his auntie took up his room and he'd sleep on the couch. They locked the door, and the ghost still stands there to this day, waiting for its day to be released once again. Geometry Dash is a huge game, and many YouTube videos related to it are uploaded every single day. One of the YouTubers in the Geodash scene is called Fanksy, and he comes from Italy, offering the content to the Italian speakers who enjoy the game, a very smart way to tap into a competitive market. His subscribers wait for new videos every week, covering all aspects of the game, but on a random day in July, they got something far from that. They received a paranormal documentation. To set the scene, Fanksy had been experiencing paranormal activity for a few weeks prior to the video, and decided the best option was to keep it private. He believed that even if he did upload some of it to his huge platform of fans, he would be called a faker and tarnish his reputation, something no YouTuber would want to do. Fortunately though, this did not happen.
Bene, ma direi che possiamo passare al prossimo livello di Damor, Fengsi 3. Proviamo ragazzi, sono curioso di vedere quello che accadrà. Dobbiamo scaricare la canzone. Ok ragazzi, fermi un secondo. Ho sentito un rumore fortissimo, ma io sono a casa da solo. Spero sia il vento, ma non credo, visto che io chiudo sempre tutto, perché altrimenti ci sarebbero casini mentre registro. No, non è possibile. Ragazzi, no, adesso vi devo far vedere. No, vi giuro raga, non è possibile. Allora ragazzi, sono andato a controllare cosa potesse essere il rumore. Stiamo un attimo calmi. C'è la luce del bagno accesa. Vi giuro, io sono a casa da solo, non so se lo potete vedere. Stavo registrando, ho sentito il rumore della porta chiudersi e c'è la luce accesa. Raga, non sto scherzando. Allora, entro. Raga, sto tremando, vi giuro. Allora, come potete vedere, non c'è assolutamente nessuno.
Somehow the bathroom door opened and slammed itself closed mid-recording, and Fanksy spent a good 1 minute emphasizing that he was the only one in the house. As well as this, he always asked Alexa to turn all the lights off when he was recording, and for some reason the bathroom one was on. Was this a technical error or something much, much worse? After investigating, he came to the conclusion that the cause of the door closing was the wind, and the reason for the light being on was an issue with his Alexa device. Both of these theories were false, but he didn't know that and decided to continue his recording.
Ok ragazzi, rieccoci. Non so cosa sia successo, all'improvviso la porta del bagno si è chiusa. Ragazzi, no vabbè, giuro adesso mi sto cagando in mano, però veramente. Raga, sto tremando. Sta succedendo qualcosa di strano e non sto scherzando. Ragazzi, la porta l'avevo chiusa. Raga, si poteva vedere prima che ho chiuso la porta quando sono entrato. No raga, vi giuro. Che cavolo sta succedendo? Cioè, ha sbattuto a caso. Ma poi con quale violenza? No ragazzi, dai, ma non scherziamo. Ragazzi, c'è la luce accesa di qua. Ragazzi, era spenta prima, l'avete potuto vedere. Sono passato da qua ed era tutto spento.
Strangely, just moments after hitting the continue button on his Streamlabs, the door to his bedroom slammed in an aggressive manner, and this frightened him into screaming. What made things even worse was that it opened itself again afterwards, which should be completely impossible. Possibilities that can only be denied by the paranormal entities of the world. After seeing this, Fanksy knew that the spirit had made a return on camera and decided to set up some CCTV in the corner of the room. This way he would feel safe as he slept, and sleep he did. He stopped the recording as he was too shaken to act and called it a night. The Cortez family were one of the most normal groups of people you could ever imagine. Nothing interesting ever happened in their life other than the odd outing, so they would be the last family you'd expect to see featured on this channel. In the following video, the father of the family was staying up late at night to do some work, when all of a sudden he felt something very off that he couldn't describe. In response to this, he decided to go and investigate downstairs, and what happened was unbelievable. It's important to note that the family was indeed religious and had a wall widespread with crosses for that reason. Whatever caused the following to happen likely hated that fact.
Vamos a ver qué sucede porque esto está muy cabrón. Ya todos están dormidos, a ver. No mames. Es una lámpara que tengo aquí. Se está moviendo bien cabrón. Están las cruces. Chinga. Vamos a ver qué sucede porque esto está muy cabrón. Ya todos están dormidos, a ver. No mames. Es una lámpara que tengo aquí. Se está moviendo bien cabrón. Están las cruces. Chinga.
Strangely, something from the cross display collapsed to the ground without warning, and nobody was there who could have triggered this to happen. Considering this was the act of a spirit and it decided to tamper with a wall of religious art, it led the Cortez family to believe that they were being visited by a demon, but they never got any more evidence after that. Now, in a recent video on the channel, we delved into an adventure by Karim, who somehow found himself in a terrible situation. To summarize, he had become lost and found himself at an abandoned building where he was continuously being led to this little girl's room. During his time inside this room, he had seen some very disturbing things, but none were quite bad enough to make him turn around and try to escape. He was given enough warnings. It was time to give Karim the fright of his life.
Otra vez ruido en la pieza de mi hija. Podrido de los sonidos, los ruidos. Paren un poco, viejo, ¿qué onda? ¿Qué es eso? La concha de su... Yo había apagado la luz de ahí. Oh, esto me da muchísimo miedo.
The worst part about that piece of footage was most definitely the noises that the ghost was making. It was whimpering like a little girl, and like we debunked in the last video, this made perfect sense. All around the room were boxes with the name Rebecca on them, which made it very obvious that it used to be the room of a little girl. Perhaps the ghost haunting Karim in this specific moment was that girl, but that's just a theory. After experiencing this, Karim decided to take a step back and have a breather before he entered the building one last time. He wanted to gather as much evidence as possible about the place, and fortunately, he managed to get a tiny bit more clip.
Estoy solo en mi casa y pasa esto. Si tienes miedo, no lo mires. Al final algo intenta atacarme.
After plucking up the courage to re-enter the building, Karim was greeted by much more demented sounds. Last time he could compare the sounds to something, but this time around they were indescribable, almost like they came from a mythical creature of some sort. Understandably, this was enough to send Karim running to safety, and he eventually came across a main road. He held his hand out until someone pulled over, and he asked them to call his friend to come and pick him up. Luckily, he did. Karim will never walk in that same direction again. Who knows what the spirit would do to him next time. Dogs, as well as cats, are known for having a sense that humans don't have. The sense to visualize beings from the paranormal world. There are countless videos on the internet of families, cute little pets, barking at absolute nothingness for hours on end, and even staring at seemingly walls. A lot of people believe that this is simply an act of boredom and an attempt to keep themselves entertained, but that's just foolish. It's spirits, and if the following video doesn't convince you, then I don't know what will.
That was hella weird.
There's literally no way that door just opened by itself. Y'all, like, I really don't get freaked out, but that was really just... That door has a keypad lock on it. Like, and it's actually hard to get in. Dutch, where are you going? Don't leave me. There's like... What? Why did you just jump like that? Why did... Baby! Y'all, do you see her? What the fuck is going on? Yo!
For some strange reason, the dog started barking behind the door, and it looked very stiff. When a dog is stiff, it usually means that it is worried or frightened by something, and whatever was behind the door was likely the cause for this. What worried me was the fact that the poor dog was looking so high up. Whatever that thing was, it must have been massive, and the woman would be insane to not call up the local priest for the job. Let me know what you think about this scenario in the comments, but trust me, I am more than certain that something spiritual was enjoying her garden. CCTV is one of the best installments that someone can install into their home because they are so useful at deterring crime. They can help people look back at footage and see exactly what happened as many times as they would like to, which is huge in catching criminals in the act. However, in the upcoming clip, the woman decided to do this in order to try and find out who caused this phenomenon to happen. To her dismay, this is what she found on the camera.
What the fuck? Come here. What the fuck?
Literally no one. Somehow the curtain moved by its own accord, and the faint whisper of the words, "Get out," echoed next to the camera. This was most definitely the act of something from the paranormal world, but the lady who got spooked by it wasn't able to accept that this was the case. She hired people to dig through everything and try to find any trace of someone or something being there with her that night. But no matter how much money she splashed on these companies, none of them came back with any turnaround. She spent upwards of $300 before finally giving up on the search and deeming herself as crazy. Despite all of that, she still doesn't believe in ghosts. This security guard called Shane was working a night shift at the hospital when one of, if not the creepiest things of his life, happened there and then. According to Shane, the wheelchair in the corridor started periodically spinning at around 2 a.m. and had been for a few weeks. However, no one else on the staff team believed that this story was true. On this fateful night, he took it upon himself to capture the drama unfold and truly prove that he wasn't going crazy, and prove he did, because after this video, no one could deny him.
Come on.
See, I fucking do. No.
As if this piece of content wasn't already unsettling enough, that was the wheelchair ridden by an ex-patient called Sheila, who sadly passed away a few weeks prior. And remember what Shane said about the wheelchair moving, starting at around that time. Regardless of a ghost haunting their corridors, the staff get on with their day-to-day tasks, and it became tradition to say hi to Sheila once you walked past the corridor. They did their best to save her, and it was very saddening to see her death. On the other hand, refreshing to know that she was still living the life. On October 12th of 2017, a Spanish man by the name of Andre was home alone in the living room when he managed to accidentally get something on his camera. He was recording a funny Snapchat for his group chat of friends when suddenly the topic of the video took a huge drift for the worst. Andre described after this event that he would never go near his rhino ornament ever again, and after taking a look, you won't hesitate to agree with his decision, so go on.
Amigos, son las 1:26 de la madrugada y estoy solo, ya van 3 veces que me tocan la puerta a mi casa y relativamente pues yo estoy solo, pero pues la verdad es que sí me da miedo. La neta no sé ni qué onda en mi casa y pues sí me da un chingo de miedo. Les juro. No mames, vete a la verga. No mames, no mames. Vete a la verga. No, neta, vete a la verga. Se acaba de caer esta madre. No mames. No mames.
What made this rather odd was the fact that the rhino landed perfectly and didn't shatter in the slightest. It was a very fragile piece of art, and the seller warned the family to be careful with it. It made absolutely zero sense that it managed to fall from such a height without even a single chip. The leading theory to explain this is that the ghost behind the event quickly placed the rhino on the ground so that no real gravitic potential energy was built up, hence why it didn't lash out when it hit the floor and exploded. It was a close call for the ornament regardless. It was on an online selling website just hours later. In the following video, a woman is sitting in the living room watching her hyper-realistic human dummy that her ex purchased for her. She was in the process of selling it because of how weird it actually was. However, I don't think the dummy was too fond of that idea.
This thing just moved.
Boy, all the talking heads would have been screaming about the Dallas Cowboys and sticking the fork in this organization. So again, kudos to the Cowboys going on the road, getting a good win, and see how they win.
There's a saying in golf, there's no pictures on the scorecard. If you're Dallas, you don't care if it's got 5 or it's going to be like, you're just happy that you moved to 2-2. The injury to Parsons, and we don't know anything at this point, he just left by a car with the left shoe off. How do you assess what that man is? The defense is struggling, but it's clearly not better if he's out of the field.
I mean, that would be, if he's missing any significant time out of it, he's the best. He's the best player.
Oh my God. The door just moved.
33 propels 100 affordable housing laws, including
Early on, much more involved, particularly
the safety over the top, and you'll see right down here.
a free personal Suzuki dessert. An entree plus free dessert, just $13. That's a sweet deal. Sure, that's what I had. We weren't able to take the food away. There's a lot of involved.
Are you real? You can do it again. I won't watch.
Strangely, the dummy's hand moved by its own accord, indicating the possession of the toy. The woman claimed that this wasn't a first-timer, and it had done stuff like this in the past. Very creepy. This toy shop was one of the most popular ones in the town, and new stock needed to be imported daily in order to keep the shelves stacked. The shop was often chaotic and full of children with their parents, but during the upcoming clip, it was empty, likely due to closure. The time was 3 a.m., so of course a bunch of children weren't going to be seeking new toys. Something else was though. As you all know, 3 a.m. is known as the witching hour, and it is safe to say that this video upheld that reputation strongly.
Okay, here's a video of our gift shop. I was actually walking by the gift shop and I heard this owl right in the middle here falling over. However, looking back, there's some other items in the middle or the right that fall over as well. So let me show you the owl first. Or actually, there's something that just fell over. Let's look at that. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Okay. Looks like it's that little... I have a brass angel in the middle there, and it looks like it's what fell up. There it goes. Yeah. Okay, so I didn't see that before, but watch this owl. Let me go forward. That was at 3:24. So the owl actually takes a little while. Oh, I just noticed something else. Hold on. Okay, looks like that little bird cage in the middle of the screen right here. It's about to do something also. Saw it move when I was going through it. There it goes. Okay, so that falls over. But the owl actually falls off here in a second. There it goes. You'll see the owl in the middle. Well, at that point, I'm going to zoom out here because I'm actually walking by and I heard the owl. Can't see it in frame anymore, but it's on the ground. So like I said, this is our gift shop here at the hotel. It's 3:28 a.m. I walk in, I see the owl. I also noticed the little disturbance on the right there as well. Trying to figure out what's going on, what made the owl fall. I'm looking at the other figurines and everything else that was disturbed. But I didn't see any issues, so I I'm waiting to see if it'll happen while I'm in there. Nothing did. Alright, so that's just something that happened. I've never seen anything really happen much in this gift shop, so I'm going to keep an eye on it.
For some reason, several items fell from the shelves, and eventually, the owner of the store who happened to live above the store heard the noises and went downstairs to check. He assumed there must have been a burglar trying to steal their supplies for an easy resell, but was extremely confused to find nothing. He explained after the event that he felt an eerie feeling in the toy shop that night, but it vanished the next time he entered. Whatever was in there was only a temporary present, but it definitely had a lasting effect on the owner. A vase is an item used by people to hold flowers that have been pulled out of the soil. Because the water allows the plant to still gain nutrients without soil and survive, as well as acting as a stand to keep them looking nice and neat. The man in the following video, Adrian, had just purchased 3 new vases as Valentine's Day was rapidly approaching and he wanted to gift his girlfriend of 5 years as many flowers as possible. To his dismay though, they began to move off camera, which was very strange, so he decided to try and capture it on tape for social media. He set up a camera on the tabletop, aiming at the vases, and left it there whilst he scrolled on his phone. It didn't take long for results to come in.
Whoa, do you see that? What the fuck? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. 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 Oh shit. 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 Oh god. Oh shit. Oh. Okay. I should probably just...
Somehow, the biggest vase started to slide across the floor towards the man, and he understandably stood up and ran to another room. Fortunately though, he managed to catch the movement on camera this time, and tell his story to the world without being considered a literal psychopath. In India, a popular form of working out is park gyms, and these are very unique compared to what we use in the West. Instead of working out in a large, sweaty building, these people have equipment set up in parks, and most of these are public use, meaning that the users do not have to spend $30 a month to stay healthy. On a Saturday night, some police were called down to a park, which hosted a gym, because there was suspicion around a potential crime in the area. When they arrived there, they expected to find a criminal trying their hardest to escape, or at least some tracks. What they found instead, though, was beyond shocking. Strangely, one of the pieces of gym equipment started to move by itself, as if someone was working out with it. What made things even more weird was the fact that both sides of the machine were doing this, so either there were 2 ghosts present that night, or the one had telepathic powers. I guess we will never truly know, but feel free to comment which one you think stands correct down below. William Stone, just your regular American teenager, was convinced that his house was haunted, but unfortunately, his parents refused to believe his tales. Over the past few months of his life, he had constantly been explaining paranormal events to his father, and he was seriously considering sending William to a counselor, desperate to save himself from being deemed insane. Though, William started to run some experiments. His goal was to prove that the spirit haunting him, James, was in fact a legitimate entity and finally gained the moral support of his loved ones. The piece of footage you are about to see took place during one of his tests, and it was on the more simple side of things. William simply lit up a candle and expected James to move it for him, since the candle was the most frequently haunted thing in the house. This is what happened.
Can you do it one more time? James. One more time. Thank you. Oh, shit.
Surprisingly, James actually listened to William and moved the candle not once, but twice. This was highly unexpected because William expected the poltergeist to be camera shy after doing some research, but this did not seem to be the case at all. With his newfound evidence, he went to his father immediately after he arrived home from work and showed the video to him. To his dismay though, his father called him a liar and said that the video must have been faked with a string or something along those lines. William must keep experimenting or his goals of being accepted by society may come to a close. If he posts anything else, you will see him again on this channel, so make sure to subscribe. In the following video, Yvonne, an unmarried yet taken woman, was home alone because her boyfriend was out drinking with his friends. He had planned this occasion a good 2 months prior because it was his birthday the weekend after. So despite being annoyed, Yvonne accepted that it was okay for him to leave her for a night. She would not have come to this conclusion if she knew what was going to happen though. The clock ticked until it reached 4 a.m. and Yvonne was starting to feel sick. Her boyfriend had not come home yet, but did message her that he was okay, just having fun. Still though, she wanted to hug him before going to bed. During the peak of these stress levels, things couldn't get worse. At least that was what she believed to be the case. She started to hear some random sounds from the kitchen and got up to investigate what was going on. Once she was up, a saucer fell from the cupboard, which closed itself up again. Afterwards, and based on the deep breathing we could hear from the microphone, Yvonne did not take this too well. It is in fact explained one day later on her feed that she passed out shortly after releasing her thumb from the record button and woke up 10 minutes later on the floor. She is now okay, and her boyfriend made it home just fine. This was an eventful night for a poor woman, and we can only hope that whatever caused it does not strike her again. The noise of banging is arguably one of the most annoying sounds on the planet. The loudness, the repetitiveness, and the lack of necessity all come together to induce stress into anyone that hears it, especially when it's coming from your own front door. Bilal, a middle-aged man who lived alone, was watching some television in peace when he started to hear some crazy banging from his front doorway. Only when he went to check did he realize that he should have stayed seated.
Pues he escuchado muchos comentarios de la gente, dicen que es un audio, otros dicen que son gatos. Yo espero que sí se sean porque pues la verdad yo ya no aguanto esta situación. La única puerta de madera es esta. Se escucha que alguien está golpeteando. Pues no les miento, yo estoy solo aquí, o sea, no hay truco, no hay nadie. No hay nadie detrás de la pared, si es lo que piensan. O sea,
No, la verdad no. No me explico esto. No sé qué está pasando. Yo dejé mi puerta cerrada y ahora resulta que está abierta. No hay nada afuera. Voy a asomar por acá. Tampoco. Yo no sé qué pasa de verdad, pero al chingada, voy a dormir otro día, no aguanto. Tampoco. Yo no sé qué pasa de verdad, pero
Bilal went outside to investigate the banging noises, and to his dismay, no one was at the front door. Now I can already picture the comments of people saying that this must have been a game of ding-dong ditch or something along those lines, but it was very late. What children are out playing at that time? On top of this, after closing the door after checking for people, the knocking started seconds later, which would have been impossible had it not been a spirit. It was late at night when a couple were fast asleep together. It did not take long for something horrible to intercept their dreams, though. The time was 2 a.m. and Giovanni, the male of the relationship, was struggling to enter deep slumber, unlike his girlfriend, Morgan, who was knocked out. He rolled around for a bit, trying to get comfortable, but just as he succeeded, the most uncomfortable thing imaginable occurred.
Que porra é essa, mano?
Vem cá.
Que porra é essa?
If you listen closely, the voice of a woman could be heard, and this was the same voice as the one Morgan had. This made no sense to Giovanni, because his girlfriend was in a deep sleep, so how could she have been by the door? Well, the truth is that she wasn't. Confused, Giovanni pretended that nothing happened and pinned it down to tiredness. But it wouldn't be long before his girlfriend experienced the same thing. One night after this incident at a similar time, both members of the couple were asleep. None of them were having any struggles with their rest, but eventually, Morgan had to use the toilet and rose. This would be the biggest regret of her life. Coming from the bathroom, the voice of Giovanni could be heard, and he was most definitely in the bed when she left. To add on to this, the sound of heavy footsteps started nearing towards Morgan, and she reasonably allowed her body to enter flight mode. However, despite running away, she would still encounter the spirit one last time, except this time around, the couple were in it together.
Shoo, acorda. Tá aqui.
Amor?
Vai embora da minha casa agora!
Deixa eu entrar.
Você não é bem-vindo aqui!
Me deixa entrar. Sou eu.
Vai embora!
Me deixa entrar.
Ele não tá passando. Ele não vai passar. Ele não passa.
Me deixa entrar.
This happened at 3 a.m. on the dot, and it is important to note that this ritual was not set up by either of them, nor did they own the candles. The ritual was designed to stop holy spirits from entering the household, but to allow demons to. The couple had no choice but to evacuate to Giovanni's father's until they could purchase a new place. In the following video, Rasmus, a young Russian man, was woken up late at night by a mysterious noise. The rest of his family were supposed to be fast asleep, so this confused him to a crazy extent, so much that it stressed him out and he wanted some answers. With that said, he rolled out of bed and approached the source of the noise. What happened next was something even he couldn't have predicted if he tried.
Время 2:30 ночи, а мы только начинаем веселиться. Проснулся от стука из шкафа. А это одна сторона, левая дверца, слегка приоткрывается и стучит. Не знаю, видно, не видно. Такая хуйня, ребята.
Somehow, the closet continuously opened and closed until it prompted Rasmus to open it up and see what was happening inside. To his dismay though, he found nothing except some swinging clothes hangers, which in fairness was weird in its own right. It made no sense how the hangers were swinging because the doors were closed, meaning that no wind or anything of the sort could enter. Some kind of entity was in his closet, and I guess he will never know what. Now, in the last video, we took a look into the life of Isaiah, a middle-aged man who was left home alone one night when some insane stuff happened to him. What occurred in that video is very important to the upcoming clip, so I'll provide a brief summary. In short, his girlfriend was out with her friends, and once she left, all kinds of paranormal stuff started happening around the house. From moving objects to strange noises, Isaiah wasn't given a break until his girlfriend arrived home, and he didn't tell her to protect her from the fear. Surprisingly, once she arrived home, everything suddenly stopped, and Isaiah was left stunned as to why the hauntings only happened whilst she wasn't present. In order to test this theory, he gave her his debit card and asked her to go and get some Starbucks for them both, to which she was happy and left. It was at this moment that the following piece of footage was captured, and things got weird, to say the least. Like last time, the paranormal activity skyrocketed. From banging noises to objects falling to the ground, Isaiah was greeted with the exact same torment as last time. It was not good whatsoever. When his girlfriend came back for a second time, he made her aware of what was happening, but unfortunately, she was too high to understand what he was talking about. We have not received an update since, but you'll be the first to know once we do, so subscribe. On June the 23rd of 2020, during the beginning of a long coronavirus pandemic, the following CCTV footage was captured. It was taken within a small shop, restocking their toilet paper supplies for obvious reasons. As most of you will know, toilet paper was a rare material during 2020. The store workers expected people to come flooding in to come and purchase some of the paper, but to their surprise, something unexpected came to pay them a visit before the large crowds. Take a look.
Fíjate, es que no hay nadie. Se cae. Y después sale Tao.
Ya me los pusieron mal.
¿Tú crees que los hayan puesto mal?
No se los vas a caer así solo.
Y de ahí sale Alicia. Yo no creo que se hayan caído solos.
Pues se cayó solos, o sea.
Strangely, the toilet paper fell from the shelf onto the floor, and the man working in the store was clearly confused by this. The odd thing about this was that the paper had been there for a good 20 minutes without collapsing, and no sudden movement happened next to it. It most definitely didn't occur due to anything natural. They knew that a spirit was in the store, but did not tell a soul in case they lost customers by having a scare factor. The video only came about recently after the store was sold on to a bigger company. James was playing video games late at night and didn't want his parents to catch him. He had a strict curfew for 10 o'clock and was still playing at 1 a.m., which was far later than he should have been. Not that he cared all that much. As long as he didn't talk to any of his friends and kept his headset on so he could hear if his parents were coming for him, he would have been more than okay. But he let his awareness slip for a moment and the worst possible scenario happened. Spoiler, it did not involve his parents. While he was in an intense fight of some sort, the wardrobe slowly creaked open in the background, and he should have been able to hear the noise of it creaking. Due to him failing to catch this, the door slammed before he could do anything about it, and he instantly powered off his console and jumped into bed. Fortunately, his parents bought the idea that he was asleep and walked back out after looking around for a moment. The next day, they told him the story of how they heard a bang upstairs, and James couldn't help but let out a smirk at the thought that they believed him. Well, if they did before, they didn't anymore. He was grounded on the spot. The following video took place on a cold winter night, the weather perfectly aligning with that was about to unfold. Peaceful, yet empty and dark, full of shivers from the cold. It was 2 a.m. when the piece of content was filmed and happened in a large farm field. You may be wondering what a man was doing on these fields late at night. The answer would be that I have no clue. All we can do is guess. What I am aware of, though, is the strange phenomena caught on camera here on that very night, and it happens right here. At the first glance, it is very difficult to understand what was actually strange about this clip. On the surface, it seems like quite a chill location to spend the evening, but trust me, after zooming in, we find out otherwise. 2 minutes and 12 seconds into the video, the figure of a human being could be seen inside the house, which was clearly abandoned. We know this because for the remainder of the video, the creator actually searched the house, and nobody was seen in there. Well, technically, you see, just shortly after entering the building, another unexplainable thing was seen, and this time, it was much more intimidating. Have a watch. Behind the window, eyes could be seen glaring at the creator, and surprisingly, they did not notice a thing until watching the footage back. The eyes become ever more mysterious when you take into account the fact that they vanished out of thin air just moments after appearing. Very peculiar indeed. Most ghost encounters that are covered on this channel are not evil and more spirits trying to annoy their victims. However, every now and then we come across some of the most demonic things captured on Earth, purposefully attempting to harm humans. Unfortunately, this is the type of spirit we are about to discuss. The video happened during the Chinese Ghost Festival, which the creator, Xiao Long, explained to be one of the scariest experiences around. He visited the place that he did in the video because it was known for its haunted activity on this day, and knew that if he filmed there, he would be able to convince people around the world that spirits were real, and the ghosts did not fail to disappoint, perhaps taking things a tad bit too far.
操你妈！
Not only were the stairs sugar-coated in blood, but as Xiao went to investigate what was going on, a large iron plate collapsed, almost hitting him. It is extremely uncommon for an entity of any form to attempt harm on someone from the living world, so Xiao caught something crazy here, although he still wished it wouldn't have happened. This was nowhere near the scariest event of the night though, and Xiao was moments away from finding out. After running from the room that the prior incident occurred in, he started to hear repetitive knocking and instinctively followed it until he came across a door. This door seemed normal on the surface, and Xiao was very tempted to see what was on the other side. Did he give in to these temptations? Well, you'll have to watch and find out.
里边还有走道声。扶手在底下，你妈逼的出来！
我操你妈，这里这么臭啊！我操！啊！手！啊！我操！我操！
Xiao was greeted by a bathtub full to the brim with blood. Understandably, this freaked him out a lot, but due to his kind-heartedness, he went to investigate in case someone was alive and dying in there. To his dismay, something was there, but nothing he could have helped. A hand-like shape was in the blood and vanished just moments after making its appearance. Was this the apparition of a spirit? Let me know what you think in the comments. I know what my answer is. This couple, Harry and Sarah, had been together for 6 months, and since they were entering adulthood, they decided to finally rent out a house together. They agreed to split the rent 60-40, with the man paying more. He agreed to this considering he worked full-time while the woman still worked part-time, so it did make sense that he paid most of the bills. Sarah really wanted a pet cat though, so she was in a mood with Harry during this video because he said their dog would hate the creature and it would be stupid to purchase one. However, all grudges would be put aside after what was about to happen to them.
Hello? Oh my God!
Randomly, the sound of the door opening and closing came from down in the basement, and the couple were extremely confused. Sarah came running out of her room to tell Harry off for being annoying, but the last thing she expected to happen happened. Harry said hello to whatever was causing the banging down there, and to his dismay, it came running up right at him. Immediately after seeing this, Sarah demanded that the basement be locked shut, and said that if she saw him down there again, she'd slap him in a heartbeat. He wasn't going to listen though. In fact, he waited 2 days until the next time he was home alone and had another glimpse down there. 10 minutes after she left, it was action time. Just like the last time, strange noises could be heard, with one of them being the sound of a ball dropping. Harry fancied his chances and walked down the basement steps, though this is when the odd creature chased him again. Since this day, Harry and Sarah have kept the basement door locked at all times, and hear the occasional banging coming from inside there. When they have children, they plan to move out of the home, and for good reason.